Hey guys, welcome to 5 minute book reviews. Today I am reviewing Atomic Habits. Let me look up the picture of the book. Shoot, that was not a picture. Anyways, it looks like that. Hurry up. Atomic Habits by James Clear. Um, so um, I read this book about uh 4 years ago or something like that. Um, Highly recommend it. It explains. It explains. It really breaks down habits. So James Clear actually got hit by a baseball bat or something like that. He got hit with a baseball bat when he was young, and it derailed his whole baseball career. He was kind of like on track to becoming a college level baseball player, but that happened, and I think he went into a coma. But anyways, he just lost motor skills, and it really affected his life, and he had to build his entire life again through these atomic habits. One thing that I remember specifically about this book, like it's crazy because um, I think what books do is while you're reading them, they're fresh in your mind, right? So I can specifically, well, every single book that I've ever read, I can remember as I'm reading them, right? It takes about, I don't know, let's say 20 hours to read a book, or let's say it takes 10 hours to read a book or something like that. Well, you do it within a week period or 2 week period or something like that, and during those 2 weeks, that information is fresh in your mind and it's just rolling, and you are using that information. Well, if you're smart, you're using it, right? What's the point of reading a book if you're not going to use the information? um, so basically, while I was reading this book, I loved the descriptions. I loved the way that he wrote the book. It was easy to read, and very understandable, and very step to step. And James Clear is that type of person too. If you watch his interviews, he has a way of speaking that is very clear, and his name is James Clear. So, um, but what I wanted to say specifically, that a thing that stuck with me, and still kind of I still think about this, is he talked about triggers. Having I used triggers for a while there to start habits. So it's good for your brain to know when you're going to start a habit, and what trigger does that what trigger triggers the habit. So he talked about setting up conscious triggers for starting a habit, such as starting a certain habit at an exact time, every day. And then what happens once you do it, 2 3 times, your brain knows, oh, right now is when I start this certain activity. Or and it makes it easier because there's less thinking involved. One thing I read in another book, what happens is um, when you're, let's say, a smoker, right, starts smoking, what happens is that their brain stops working. So, like, the activity in the brain stops working, and it becomes easier to do the task. And it's the same with working out. It's the same with bad habits. It's the same with good habits. So, um, let's say you you're gonna start working out, right? That first time you start working out, it's gonna be hard. That second time is probably gonna be hard too. But then the third, fourth day that you do it, if you do it, consistently, right? Um, it's gonna become easier. And what happens is, like, your brain knows, okay, let's say, you know, you pack your bag to go to the gym. Well, that's a trigger. That's called a trigger, and that's gonna trigger your. Sorry, I'm listening to my voice in the headphones. This kind of threw me off there. But anyways, it triggers your brain to start the habit, and it's less willpower because you already know what you're gonna do. There's less thinking involved. So, anyways, highly recommend the book. Peace.